الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور، ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. الحمد لله فاطر السماوات والأرض، جاعل الملائكة رسلا أولي أجنحة مثنى وثلاث ورباع، يزيد في الخلق ما يشاء، إن الله على كل شيء قدير. الحمد لله الذي له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض، وله الحمد في الآخرة، وهو الحكيم الخبير. نحمده تعالى ونشكره ونستعين به ونسترشده، ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد، ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وقائدنا ومرشدنا وحجتنا وشفيعنا محمد، وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وصحبه أجمعين، ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله وطاعته، وأحثكم على التمسك بهدي قرآنه وسنة نبيه، فقد قال الله جل من قائل: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام، إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. صدق الله العظيم. My dear children, dear sisters and brothers, today's khutbah demands behavioral change on our part, and as such it is dedicated and directed to the young people in our community, because of the premise that recognizes, as I mentioned it many times before, that it is difficult to make behavioral change among older people. It will be welcome if those old among us will consider the change in behavior, but I know that it is most effective when I'm looking at those young people whom I'm very delighted to see because of their professional development day. So this khutbah is for you. And the reason is that this week is a celebration of Earth. This is our home. This is where we live. And the United Nations has assigned a week every year to give special attention to this home, to see what does it need. Do we need to start breaking walls? Do we need to start renovation? Do we need to start our plan? Do we need to change our strategy? As you know, that even here in this small environment called the Islamic Center, we have been for some time doing some maintenance, expansion, renovation, consideration, strategizing, trying to make this home of worship a more comfortable place to house us. Now, if you consider what your parents do sometimes you may say that it's not of my concern and you may not pay much attention, but your parents from time to time bring a plumber to the house, bring an electrician to the house, bring somebody to change the shingles of the roof, bring somebody to repaint, bring somebody to do things that need maintenance. No house, no place that we live in can stay in a usable fashion without maintenance. If we don't maintain it, it will rot. And many things inside the house that you may not see because of your actions, and listen, young girls before the boys, I know that if you will keep on watering your extra hair into the sink, your father has to pay a bill, a hefty one, when that sink will stop passing the water properly. Why? No, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's hers. It's his. It's this. We know that something improper was done. And that is why we need to watch our behavior. If we let things go without maintenance, the price we will pay will be quite big. And already, the house we are living in, planet Earth, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigned for us, He said, this is your temporary place to live until you come back to the home that you choose for yourself in the hereafter, through your actions. وَهُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَكُمْ خَلَائِفَ الْأَرْضِ. The last ayah of Surah Al-An'am, the last ayah, 165, it says that He, Allah, made you خَلَائِفَ الْأَرْضِ. One of the translations of the meanings of khala'if is custodians. Allah made you, human beings, the custodians of al-ard, of this planet, of this earth. This earth that is now suffocating. You hear about the pollution. You hear about the wastage. You hear about all the damage that we are causing to our planet. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, I created all of this for you, use it properly. You know, the theme of this year's celebration of Earth is the 3 C's. Consume less, conserve more, and concern for the environment. Consume less. When you stand under the shower, there's no reason while you are preparing yourself to have the water coming down and down and down. Do you realize why I'm holding a paper in my hand? I'm holding a paper in my hand because I want to share with you the invoice that we keep on receiving, and every year the invoice is increasing in the items that are added to the maintenance work, and we are asked to pay more to fix the damage. And that is why I wanted to read some items on the invoice. The invoice that all of us have to pay, and I'm afraid Wallahi, I'm afraid, like many among us are concerned, that when the time comes for this young, handsome boy to become a leader, that we, because of our negligence, will give him a harder time to clean the mess that we are leaving behind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us again in Surah Al-An'am, in Surah number 6. Surah Al-An'am is beautiful. Go and read it and study it. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنْشَأَ جَنَّاتٍ معروشات وغير معروشات والنخل والزرع مختلفا أكله والزيتون والرمان متشابها وغير متشابه كلوا من ثمره إذا أثمر وآتوا حقه يوم حصاده ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. ولا تسرفوا إنه الله لا يحب المسرفين. And in another place, before I translate, I will translate all of the 3 ayat I want to share with you together. In Surah Al-A'raf, the surah after it, in Surah number 7, يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. And in Surah Al-Isra, Surah number 17, Surah Al-Isra, وآت ذا القربى حقه والمسكين وابن السبيل ولا تبذر تبذيرا إن المبذرين كانوا إخوان الشياطين وكان الشيطان لربه كفورا. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, the owner of the house, the landlord, is telling us, I will lease you this apartment on condition that you sign the contract. And the contract is the Quran. And we signed it while we are still in the loins of our parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala read the contract to us and said, this is what I want from you. And we all signed. We signed verbally by our testimony that there's no deity to be worshipped but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Therefore, by agreeing to take care of this apartment, we have to be held responsible. But are we? You know, when the leasee or the person who is renting leaves, the landlord comes and says, wait a minute. Before you leave, we have to go over and check. There's a hole here. You have damaged this. You have damaged that. You have done this. You have done that. You've got to pay before you leave. This is what a contract does. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is writing for each one of us and collectively for all of us what we have done to this apartment, to this house we are living in. And we are going to pay on the day of judgment before we make it home to Jannah, inshallah. We've got to pay. But the best strategy is to take care of our apartment so that we don't end up paying a hefty price. Let's translate those 3 ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, consider that Allah created for you gardens that appear like vines, and gardens that grow on trees and shrubs. And consider the palm trees and all the plantation He created for you. The plantation that produces different fruits of different varieties for you to enjoy and eat. And consider as well the olives and the pomegranate that has come in different species. متشابها وغير متشابه. Allah says, you are free to eat from it when the fruits come on the tree and on the vine, and make sure that you share that on the day when you have to pay the zakat of these plants. And make sure that when you consume, you do not waste. When you go for apple picking and the strawberry picking, the summer is coming. And we know that some people will go to those orchards to buy your own apple or pick your own apples. We start to be so wasteful. You look on the ground and you see many apples. Somebody must have had a bite. Oh no, this looks better. Eats it. Oh no, this looks red. And we throw. Why? This is not mine. They are going outside when I go outside to weigh what I have. And many people will step on it, will see something, simply because it is there and it is perfect. It just fell because of its weight. No, I'm not going to take it. We waste so much. And we consume without thinking about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. And in the second ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Muslims, make sure that when you come to the masjid, you come in your best attire. And here I'd like to say, on the side, when you come to the masjid, make sure that your socks are clean. You do not come in those socks that used to be white, because you are going to stand in a place that someone else may put his or her forehead to do sujood on. You have to be clean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to be in our best look when we come to the masjid. And then He says, eat, drink, enjoy what I created for you, but do not waste. Because Allah does not like those who waste. And in Surah Al-Isra, ayah, the third ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you have a lot that you think you own, make sure you share it with those who are next of kin, and the destitute, and the poor, and the wayfarer, and do not waste. Again, we're talking about wastage, because God does not like those who waste. Those who waste are partners with shaitan. Are partners with shaitan. And shaitan is a kafir. Shaitan is a kafir. If you want to be a partner with a kafir, then you have the tendency to be a kafir as well. So if you waste, you are as if sending a message, according to the Quran, according to me, that I don't believe in what God is sending us. Please be careful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Waqi'ah that I'm giving you all the water you need to drink. All the water. And it is beautiful water. أَفَرَأَيْتُمُ الْمَاءَ الَّذِي تَشْرَبُونَ أَأَنْتُمْ أَنزَلْتُمُوهُ مِنَ الْمُزْنِ أَمْ نَحْنُ الْمُنزِلُونَ لَوْ نَشَاءُ جَعَلْنَاهُ أُجَاجًا فَلَوْلَا تَشْكُرُونَ. Allah says, consider the water you drink. The water that you're wasting. Did you make it come from the clouds? It's been raining for the last 2 weeks. Who brought this water that is making Canada #1 in water in the world? Compare Canada with Jordan, that is suffering for the drop of water for people to drink. And yet 5 minutes of a shower average in Canada, 5 minutes only, it's on my list. 5 minutes of a shower, with the shower head bringing that hot, nice water on us, will waste 100 liters of water. 100 liters of water wasted. Imagine if your shower takes 15 minutes. One person. How much wastage we are generating. We are generating. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, If you are taking this water for granted, a time may come when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may mix it with the acid emissions of your plants that you are supporting. And something called acid rain will come on you, ujaja. You know what's ujaja? It's acid rain. Acid rain. Imagine if our lakes and rivers become acidic and we have to use more energy to purify our lakes and our rivers. How much more money and how humanity will suffer because we did something that we could have avoided. We are polluting, listen to this, our cars alone are generating so much fume. I was surprised. I never thought about it. Never thought about it. And I'm sure that the majority might not have thought about it. That because of improper engineering, of traffic light timing, that while we are in our cars idling, waiting, while there are no cars, with little bit of engineering to modify how we use intersections, we could save the environment from tons of emissions from cars. And I want to tell you how excited I am, because I would like what I say next to be something that our young people will hold on to, because there is a potential. If I get excited, I know that many of the young people will get excited. Not that I'm young, but that the young people will get more excited than me. Because what I'm going to tell you right now is something that we Muslims can do to change our image. To say that we think about the environment in a way that can change the world. I got so excited when, a brother of ours who is sitting right here with us got a patent. The government signed it, that it is his invention to make the car a self-contained machine. Meaning that every gas emission from the exhaust will be recycled in the car. Not only to save it, but recycling to produce nutrients, to produce antibiotics, to produce food, to produce lots of things. So the car becomes not only a useful machine, but it will save this environment. And you know what? You know what? This is something that we need to grab. So I want you, I will announce it after the prayer. I want those brains, those who love science, those who love engineering, and some of you are smiling because you love to do that, to meet this person. And I love those who really want to put their money where their mouth is, to say, let's make a committee to finance this and see how the government can finance it and do something. But this is, I find it so suitable to talk about this while we are talking about planet Earth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to us and said, do something about it. That's why I got so excited. Instead of just talking, I'm saying, Alhamdulillah, there's a brother who did something about it. So let's work together. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. May dua of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will accept our dua. Ameen ya Rabb al-Alamin. الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Rum told us, ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. بما كسبت أيدي الناس. That corruption and waste and pollution and all of the things that are bad on land and in the sea appeared because of what humans did, not because of the trees of the Amazon that Allah created for our use. In 1995, statistics show that an area equal to New Jersey and Connecticut together in 1995 was burned in order to allow civilization to extend into the Amazon area. We know that 1/5 of the oxygen we breathe as humans comes from the Amazon. So when in 1 year an area equal to New Jersey and Connecticut together was burned, I didn't read statistics about since 1995 what happened. And if it continues to happen, what will happen to not only Brazil, not only Venezuela, not only those areas that are in the Amazon basin, but the entire earth will suffer as a result. And I would like, to share some. I will not be able to show everything. That Canada uses 6 million tons of paper and paper board annually. Only 1/4 of Canada's waste paper and paper board is recycled, meaning that there is 4 million tons of paper that is wasted when it could be recycled. That's why, and I tell you something, and I know that some parents take it seriously, some don't. I spend about half an hour the night before garbage collection sorting through garbage. And I say it, and I know that my children are listening. It's because we've got to create that culture of recycling. If everybody will put things where they belong, we will not spend half an hour. But I know people who take recycling seriously will do that, because this is something we will be asked about on the day of judgment. Listen to this. Listen to those who are taking their computers for granted. 115 billion, I didn't say million, I said billion, 115 billion sheets of paper are used annually for personal computers. I've seen just printing 40 pages when you just need 1 page for it. You print and print and print, and we are wasting all of this paper. And I read something here about the ink that is for computers. Anyway, something about ink that it takes 1,000 years to an estimated 375 million printer ink cartridges are thrown away every year. It takes about 1,000 years for every one of those millions of cartridges to decompose in our landfills. It talks also about disposable diapers. How many billion of tons we are generating in those disposable diapers. My mother and my grandmother and all of those women, they were human beings too. And I say it to all, some people will argue, but life changes. If life changes and the outcome is suffocating earth, let's go back to the time when we used to have at night the lantern, instead of all of those lights in those big cities that are just turned on just to make the landscape look beautiful. This is causing us a hefty bill to pay. There's so much that is being wasted that time does not allow us to talk about, but I would like, in summary, now to say, we can point fingers at the others, but look at these things. I don't know how much time, maybe 2-3 minutes, just to point out, to say that we need to do a lot. Just go now to the new washrooms that were designed, and may God bless the designers from our community, from our center, trying to avoid the spill and the, everything. Go now to the washrooms and see all the water that is wasted. We, from among all people, make wudu. Let me say this, and I want to say it not because I want to point fingers at Muslims. I've been almost, not all over the world, but in many countries. And I visited airports all over the world. Let me say, and I say it with pain in my heart, that the worst washrooms at any airport are within countries that are called Muslim countries. Go to the washrooms at the airport in Singapore. Look at those washrooms to see that you can actually take a knapsack and sleep in the washroom. That's how wonderful. And I've been to washrooms where people go and make wudu, and after they step with their shoes and their things, this is not what Islam teaches, because there's something called tahara. So we are offenders when it comes to waste and lack of cleanliness. Go to the washrooms where you need to clean yourself. In the toilet, there's no tissue paper. Go and look at the toilet seat, and you see the urine on the toilet seat. Why? Is it because we're Muslims? If we are Muslims, that we need to do the opposite. That's number one. Number two, Ramadan is coming, inshallah. You know how much food we waste as Muslims when Ramadan comes? How much food? You see, we read the Quran, we listen to the Quran in Taraweeh, and we just offended, the ayat that I just read about half an hour ago, when we cannot stand in Taraweeh anymore because of the food we ate and the rest. No, tomorrow we have another invitation. People are coming. We cannot reuse food, so we have to throw this in the garbage. And then, by the way, statistics show, I did not read it here, that not only Muslims, it says 10% of the food that Canadians buy at supermarket goes to the garbage. 10% of what we buy will end up in the garbage, unused. This is not right. This is not right. So Ramadan comes, and please let us do something that is Islamic. And I will end up by saying, when Hajj comes, and those people who leave Arafat and Mina, I tell them, don't look back. Because of the way we treat the environment. But I have all the hope in those young people that they will do something. I have all the hope. That's why when I started, I said it's for behavior change. And inshallah, they will do something. And don't forget, I will announce it to meet our brother that we are very proud of his invention, inshallah, so that we can do something from our Muslim community. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وخطايانا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم علمنا من ديننا ما جهلنا وذكرنا منه ما نسينا وكن معنا ولا تكن علينا. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون وأقم الصلاة.